Super Ty. I'm very glad that you guys joined us, and coming right now is my good buddy Comic Book Brando. And we're going to be talking about all the cool comics that are coming out tomorrow, which is July 12th. And, man, as usual, always write a little comment, ask us what's going on, you know, throw on your 2 bits.
Tell us your thoughts. Tell us what you're looking forward to.
Tell us your feelings about comics. And us. Hopefully people like us. Yeah. I'm going to get started, if that's cool, Brando.
Please.
I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I really like this writer. It's Max Bemis. He's done a lot of really cool comics, like X-Men, Worst X-Man Ever, as well as, you know, Evil Empire. He's done a lot of cool stuff, but this is Centipede. Atari has been doing a couple of different comics based on their, you know, games before, and this one is fantastic. So basically, it's about this guy who lives on a world that's not quite Earth, but kind of is, and giant centipede comes and attacks, and he's the only person left. And it hits all the really fun stuff of the game, like little mushrooms everywhere, giant spiders. It's awesome. So I'm very stoked about this. Probably my #1 pick for a single issue this week.
I've also been looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Classic arcade fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Talk about years in the making.
Yeah.
So we've got the 0 issue of Mage, the Hero Denied. This is the 3rd and final story arc of Matt Wagner's epic fantasy opus.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin Matchstick was a regular guy, and then he got sweet magical superhero powers from a wizard, and he became a superhero, and that worked out all right for him.
Yeah.
Kind of. Now we get the final chapter. He's older. He's a little bit more, say, disgruntled.
Haggard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of ready to just do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited about this. I think this will be a lot of fun. It was an indie comics classic, and now we finally get the final chapter.
Yeah. Years in the making. I think that series is actually older than my little siblings, like all 3 of them. That's how long it's been. My next one is Godshaper #4. I've been really loving this book by Simon Spurrier. The art is by Jonas Goonface, which I think is one of the best names ever. If you're not familiar with it, after, you know, me telling you about it so many times, in this world, electronic things don't work anymore, and out of nowhere all these gods come up. And everybody has their own god, except for 1 out of every 10,000 people, and those people are god shapers. They can kind of change what these little gods can do. There's been intrigue that's been building up in this, though, because there's this little bitty ghost-looking god named Bud, and there's a mystery surrounding him. He might have all the answers to why everything has been happening. So it's really fun. It's this kind of alternate world where, you know, almost Depression-era kind of stuff, where, you know, everybody's huddled around campfires, drinking bathtub gin. So, my kind of book. You should definitely be reading this.
Try to bring up Austin Books on your phone.
Okay.
On Facebook. It's just not loading up for me.
Let me see what I can do.
Just load up everything else. Dark Days, the casting. This is the newest chapter following up Dark Days, the Forge. It's Batman building. What's going on? And what is he got planned for the Joker? We've got lots of DC characters showing up and setting the stage for the big metal event coming up in August?
Yes.
August. Yeah, so pretty jazzed about this. Wondering what these multi-universe Batmen are doing. So, going to give this a good solid read, see if I can figure out what's going on. Let me know what your thoughts are.
So, Garrett Edmonds says, "Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm splendid. How are
Hi,
you?"
Garrett.
And then James says, "My favorite show on the internet. How sweet."
Oh man, that's a nice thing.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, considering all the things that are on the internet.
Yeah, I know.
There's lots.
Man,
There's like a whole internet of things.
we're talented. Excellent.
Doing it.
My next one is a new series from Image. This is called Skin and Earth. It's by a singer named Lights, this musician writing a comic, which I've actually been mostly pleased with all the musician-written comics that have come out for a while. You know, Max Bemis from Centipede is actually a musician as well.
What band is he in?
He's Against Me, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
So this is a future dystopian kind of book where you follow this girl whose name is In Jin. And she's just kind of like she lives on the outskirts of this giant city where if you live in the city, you're doing really great. But if you're, on the outskirts, then you're kind of like, the trash of society, I guess is the best way to put it. And this is really just setting up the stage for everything of her just, what the world is like. This is a world-building issue. So I liked it. I thought it was very cool. The artwork's pretty killer as well. The nice subtle colors throughout. So
did she draw it as well?
I don't think so. I think she's just doing. No, yeah, she did. She did do it all.
Story, art, and even the lettering.
Wow,
that's impressive.
That's impressive.
Lettering is not an easy skill.
That's hard.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, like my handwriting's atrocious. So
good job, Lights.
Yeah.
Fine-looking book. Eager to check it out.
Yeah.
Like how you do it? Like I'm writing an album, but let me take a break and make a comic.
Yeah.
Let me do that for a second. Oh, we're touring now? Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll, do some other issues along the way or something.
Busy.
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man number 30. So Doc Ock is now working for Hydra because that's the way of the world now.
Mm-hmm.
He set it up to make it look like Parker Industries has had a big bad problem as far as like shutting off Manhattan. However, Spidey's not in Manhattan. Spidey's running around trying to basically stop the bleeding of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that Doc Ock is coming to his Parker Industry operations in Shanghai. Will he and the team there be able to stop Otto from wreaking havoc and taking all their technology for his own and Hydra's use? Find out in this issue.
My next one is Animosity number 8 by Aftershock. This is written by Marguerite Bennett and drawn by Raphael de la Tour. So this book, basically animals wake up, they're not happy with us, and they can talk, they carry weapons. There's a really great scene of a koala bear holding like 4 machine guns with each leg. So it's about this little girl and her bloodhound, and she's just trying to get to California, and you're not sure why. You don't know what's happened over a course of like 6 months. So she's finally ready to learn the truth, and it's not going to be a very happy time for everybody involved. So I really dig this. It's kind of a horror story. It's also kind of just like a great big what if. Like, what if we weren't in charge anymore?
For a second, I thought she was like a dog centaur on the cover. It's like, what's going on?
What is going on in this?
Weird.
Yeah, it's a really nice book. I dig it a whole lot. And there's also another issue I didn't grab, but it's coming out. It's called Animosity: The Rise, issue 2, which is like what happened right after everybody woke up. So that's also coming out.
James agrees that this is his favorite show on the internet until The Defenders comes out.
Reasonable.
Understandable.
I'm looking forward to that as well.
Indeed. Wonder Woman number 26. New creative team, Shea Fontana and artist Mirka and Dolfo take on the Wonder Woman mythos and add to it in their own way. So, I don't want to give up too much, but she's in some function. She attends a wedding, and things happen. This is set in the stage, so this is a very opening salvo for this story arc. Give it a read, especially if you're a big fan of the Amazon Warrior.
Did you hear that the Wonder Woman movie surpassed Deadpool?
Did it?
Yeah, surpassed earnings for Deadpool. Like it's at 400 million or something right now.
Good job,
So,
Diana.
yeah, way to go.
All involved. Fantastic book.
So this book is kind of prescient. It's called Calexit.
Prescient.
Yeah, prescient. Is that the right word?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Calexit. It's basically California secedes from the Union because there is a fascist person in charge of the United States. And so it's kind of almost a war story because like parts of California are occupied by the U.S. Coast or National Guard, so it's this uneasy alliance kind of happening. You get to get the ins and outs of what politically is happening in this world. It's also a really thick book. There's a lot of pages in this, and one thing that they did that's really cool is they have a lot of essays and stuff about what would actually happen if California did secede, because it's like the biggest blue state. So if they secede, then no matter what, usually the elections will go to, Republican Party. So it's a political thriller, political war book. I like it. Black Mask is doing an awesome job.
Right on. Old Man Logan, number 26. The Hulks of Logan's Wasteland reality are now working for the Maestro, who is an evil Bruce Banner from yet another alternate reality.
What?
And they're here in this world, wrecking shop. They are taking no prisoners, and they're taking what they want, and they will have a safe place for Hulks to exist at the cost of, well, pretty much everyone else. Can our old man Logan stop them? I don't know. He gets a lot of bullets in this issue, so
Oh, no.
perhaps not.
That never works out well for people.
Yeah.
Oh, Tommy says, if it's prescient, that means you think the events of Calexit are probable. Well,
That's why I laughed.
yeah, who knows?
ooh.
Who knows? It's a weird world we're living in right now. But I digress. Speaking of weird, Regression. This really great horror book by Cullen Bunn, who I think is an awesome writer. Basically, it's what if you were possessed by the ghost of a former life that you had. Like, so your past life is coming back to haunt you. It's really fun. It gets really gross at times because this guy is just like essentially leaking bugs out of his body. So it's like, it's pretty gross. But I've been digging it. It's spooky, spooktacular, one would say.
No one would say spooktacular.
I say spooktacular.
Elvira would say spooktacular.
Yeah, but like, look, like, ah! And then, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. And I like it. It's awesome. And me and Elvira can share spooktacular. We can share anything.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
What beer did she used to sponsor? Coors Light?
That's fun.
I think it was.
I'll drink a Coors Light.
Detective Comics number 960. Batman needs some answers, and he knows exactly where to get them. Zatanna, his old pal, has a sphere that can answer any questions he has. But once you dive a little bit too deeply into that realm of magic, you might not ever really come back from it. Really awesome. Plus, what's going on with Azrael is crazy, weird, terrifying, and I don't know. We're gonna see what happens if there is a Jean Paul left after Azrael has his way.
I remember Azrael was like, that story arc was one of the first Batman books I ever read when I was younger. I stole it from my brother. Oh man!
Paying back for that now?
Well, he stole a lot of my comics also, so it was back and
It's
forth.
a mutual swap.
Yeah, we're cool now.
A mutual swap that no one was really aware of.
Yeah, exactly. So, Spider-Man 2. Boys are back at it. So, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, they are, doing their Spidey thing, as only Spider-Man can. And, there's another Miles Morales out there somewhere.
What?
So...
Oh, that's right, because they're in the regular universe.
Yeah, so who could it be? What could be happening? And, does that Miles Morales, does he still have his family? Did this new Miles Morales steal it? Who knows? So it's kind of like an identity crisis for them. And some cool villains show up. But man, I'm looking forward to this because it's going to be pretty crazy.
My question is the Miles Morales of the 616 universe, like, as old as the Peter Parker would be? Or maybe a couple of years younger?
Ooh, well, I'm not spoiling.
Kill or be killed. Dylan faces his demons quite literally. While we also look in at the task force who's following the masked murderer and trying to find the big clues, the intense leads that you'd kind of see on television. There might be not that much to it, and only one person on that task force was even considering that possibility. This is a fantastic read from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and I don't know what to expect from it. Every issue is like, okay, wow, all right. It's so beautifully written, intense. I don't want to say psycho thriller, but when you've got a serial killer who's taking out bad guys.
Anti-hero?
Yeah, very anti-hero. It's a strange book. It's very different, and I love that. It's getting something that you don't know what's coming next. So check it out.
Nice. Oh man, my next one is Weapon X. This is issue number 5, and it's also part 3 of Weapons of Mutant Destruction. As you might see from the cover, somebody big is getting some big old claws to fight everybody. Weapon H, as it's going to be called. I'm not going to spoil it, even though you've probably seen images, but if you haven't, I'm not going to spoil it for you, because
Hubert.
Hubert, yes.
Harvey the Invisible Rabbit.
Herbie, the guy that ate all the lollipops. Yeah.
You want I should bop you with my lollipop?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Wolverine Herbie.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so this Weapon X book's been really fun. It's been very action-packed, a little mean-spirited, but I mean, when you got a team of Sabretooth, Warpath, Wolverine, Domino, Lady Deathstrike, I mean, it's going to be pretty mean. And that's why I like it. So all the X-Men books have been great recently. So, pa.
Tommy says, Dylan is crazy and Killer Be Killed. Very true.
Yep.
Off his meds. But does that necessarily mean anything? I don't know. I don't know. I dig it though. Dr. Aphra. They've survived the Screaming Citadel, and she's parted ways with Luke Skywalker and crew. Now it's back to good old-fashioned crime.
Yeah.
Make that money, get that Jedi.
Space crime.
Space crime. Selling off some good, some hot goods. But someone in the crew's getting a little bit restless, and the surprise ending in this issue will really get you back into the. What do I say? I don't want to say anything without spelling it. So yeah, enjoy.
I'm sticking with Star Wars. Also, Darth Vader #3 by Charles Soule. This is an awesome book. It takes place literally 3 seconds after Revenge of the Sith. So Darth Vader wakes up on the table, and the Emperor is like, "Hey, where's your lightsaber, Darth Vader?" And he goes, "Oh, Obi-Wan stole it." And he goes, "No, that was Anakin Skywalker's. Where's Darth Vader's?" And the whole point is, if you're a Sith, you need to find a Jedi's lightsaber and corrupt it, and that's why they always turn red. So it's finally explained why his lightsaber is red. But there's something bad that happened, that Order 66, all the Jedi are gone except for this one. And he's kind of an outcast of the Jedi because he was only trained to fight. And that's not what the Jedi really do. So, big fight scenes in this entire issue. It's awesome.
Now, was the Empire under the impression that Obi-Wan was dead?
I don't know. It didn't really bring that up.
Help us out.
Yeah.
Did they think Obi-Wan was gone?
Oh man, so much cool stuff that's happening in this.
Alright. I'm popping over to trade paperbacks and graphic novels. Tales of the Batman, Gary Conway, Volume 1. Classic Batman writer, very active in the 70s, 80s. Created Killer Croc, created Jason Todd, and this is a beautiful hardcover collection of his Batman works. So give this a look. It's got some of the great Batman artists. Jim Aparo did some work in there. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Excellent classic comics. If you want to get your classic Batman on, this hardcover is a good place to start.
Nice. Defenders, issue #3, in keeping with the earlier conversation of the Defenders being on TV. So this is really great. The last issue kind of left on a cliffhanger because, as you can tell, the Punisher shows up, and that's never a good sign for anybody involved. The cool thing they did in this issue is there's a lot of backstory being told through a lot of different perspectives about Diamondback and Luke Cage. They're best friends, but then a girl got in between them, and all this other stuff. So you actually get to be filled in on a lot of past events that, set up everything that's happening in this. There's also the Punisher. He's also in it, and there's some pretty intense moments with him and the whole crew. So, yeah, it's awesome. And there's quite a bad thing that happens at the end of this issue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I really hope they're okay.
Oof.
That's the best way I could put it. Ooh, this is so cool.
Yeah. So we thumb wrestled to see who would talk about Planetary, and I win.
Mm-hmm.
I always win the thumb wrestle. This is volume 1 of a beautiful new Wildstorm Classics edition of Planetary. This is a great story by Warren Ellis and John Cassaday about archaeologists of the unknown. If you're a fan of pop culture of pretty much any stripe, you've got something in here to draw you in. The second issue that took place on the island of
The Giant Monster Island?
Kaiju.
I believe so.
There's a Hong Kong ghost story. There's
Pulp Heroes.
Pulp Heroes, absolutely, and they're all up against these a group called the Four, who went into space and got superpowers. This is an awesome book. The way he ties things together is just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite comics. So if you haven't read it before, you have another chance to get this in a nice, epic-sized volume.
Yeah. And also, it has like a lot of cool little one-shots in it as well.
This one has the Planetary Authority one-shot and the preview issue.
Yeah.
I think the next volume will probably have Planetary Batman.
Right, and the JLA.
JLA, most likely.
Yeah. One of my top 3 books of all time.
It's super good.
Love that book.
I mean, the lines he drew.
Yeah.
In that.
And it wrapped up so well.
Between these, like, pastiches of classic pop culture stuff, I'm like, that's so brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good.
Excuse me. My next one is X-Men Blue number 7. So, goodness, I swallowed an air bubble. Whew. Okay. So, bear with me. The younger X-Men from the past are now caught up in the whole Secret Empire gig that is happening now. This mostly focuses on an internment camp for mutants, and they're going to try and do a little prison break. But then a lot of these other mutants show up that haven't been in the comics in years. So I really dig that they're doing that. They're bringing in a lot of people that haven't been used forever, like Mondo from Generation X. Like, he hasn't been in comics since, like, what, 98? So, 19 years or something?
I assumed he lost his powers during the House of M.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot is going on in this issue, and of course, there's a surprise by one of the team's family members that shows up, and he's not as nice as he used to be. So yeah, as I said earlier, every X-Men book that's going on right now is great, is awesome. It's also written by Cullen Bunn, as I said, he's a great writer. So,
what if Thor was undead and had a sweet skull face? And he was written by one of his most important creative contributors, artists and writers.
Yeah.
You've got Ragnarok. That's Walter Simonson doing a tale of a thunder god who uses a hammer as Ragnarok is rocking. This is volume 2. This is a great read. I love Walt Simonson's run on Thor. It's like introduced so many classic elements to that character, and it helped make me a fan of the character.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't even that big into Thor until I read a lot of those issues. So this is, I want to say the next chapter, but wink, it's kind of the next chapter. Check it out; it's really good.
Thor Frog.
Not in that book at all.
I know, but he's one of my favorite things Walt Simon ever did was just Thor Frog. I don't know why. I just love it.
It was fun and weird.
Yeah,
sure.
but Better Ray Bill is also the main reason why I love Walt Simonson.
Also fun and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flash number 26. Oh man. So, a lot of this takes place in the future where the Flash isn't really wearing his mask anymore. And he's having a talk with Iris and, the Flash Museum, and then boom, all this crazy stuff just hits. Could the Flash have kids in the future? Maybe. Could the Flash be corrupting himself because he knows he's deep down a liar? Like, there's a lot of really cool questions that are being brought up here, and man, that Reverse Flash, he's a jerk face, because he is doing a lot of not great things to Barry in the future and in the present. So this is awesome. This is great. I really like the design for Future Flash as well. I thought it was really cool. So yeah, I'm digging this. It's awesome.
Tommy agrees. Simonson's Thor is so killer.
So killer.
So good. Fun fact.
A flash fact?
Flash fact, if you will. Nice. So in the Legion of Superheroes future, the descendants of Barry Allen were called themselves the Tornado Twins after momentarily reproducing or temporarily reproducing the effects of what made him the Flash. And then they kind of like they kicked the Legion's ass.
Oh yeah.
As a sort of a promotion of the museum. Comics in the 60s were awesome.
Yes, flash fact, they were.
His great grandkids are jerks.
Yep.
Mage, Volume 1. We're going to go back to Matt Wagner's classic. This is where it begins if you've never read it before. A handy-dandy first volume collects the first of the 3 story arcs. The Hero Discovered. So it's the Hero Discovered, the hero defined,
and then the hero denied.
So this will get you on board. If you haven't read it before, I highly recommend it. It's a favorite of comics fans, both regular and famous as well. Kevin Smith was a big fan of the Mage.
I'm going to admit something. I've never read it, and now that it's available, I can read it because I've always wanted to. I just never had the chance to. And like Matt Wagner did Grendel also, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this was like right after Grendel, I believe. But yeah, I've always wanted to read this. He kind of has some Sam Keith kind of looking art.
I mean, it's definitely his own style. I've been looking at Matt Wagner artwork for a long time, and you kind of see how that would lead into his later books like Batman and the Monster Man, and like he did a lot of Batman stuff too. So.
Yeah, I'm stoked that this is coming out so I can finally read it.
Excellent.
Oh, it's my turn again.
Your turn.
Okay, this is my last single issue. This is from DC's Young Animal, which is one of my favorite things on Earth right now. Bug, The Adventure of Forager. This is issue 3, and this is really hard to describe what this book's about. It's about Bug, and he's a member of the, New Gods, and he was raised as in part of this insect society, but he wasn't really one of them, and he died. And then, but oops, he's back alive again. And he's just kind of like going through the cosmos, building really crazy things. He has this shield that he like kind of surfs around on, and he's, has this little sidekick in tow of this very creepy little 5-year-old girl with a talking teddy bear. So if none of that makes sense, correct. But if you're reading it, it makes sense. I really dig this, and I mean, it's written by it's the Allred team. Like Mike Allred does the art, Laura Allred does the colors, and Lee Allred, his brother, does the writing. This is an awesome book. It's just, man, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes.
The Allred squad.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, for those of you that are looking for things to do on a dreary, rainy day, which fortunately we don't have right now, coloring books. We have tons of these in the store, but this week brings us The Nightmare Before Christmas, which actually has some various...
Man?
Sure, please. And The Legend of Korra, the sequel to Avatar, The Last Airbender. Some say is even better than Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm only just now watching Avatar, so I haven't gotten to Korra yet. I finally, years later, decided, all right, fine, I'll watch it. Everyone says how good it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. So, yeah, get your color on.
I'll culminate with the M. Night Shyamalan Last Airbender movie.
Oh, man. So that was actually my introduction to Avatar.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Which is why I didn't watch the cartoon. I'm like, nah, that was stupid.
I heard it was like the worst movie ever. Or up there, at least.
I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it the worst ever. I've seen a lot of really terrible movies, but on purpose.
Yeah.
But Avatar, just awful.
I think I saw one of my worst movies ever recently. It was called Old Dogs with John Travolta and Robin Williams, and it was awful. I mean, there's parts that are like genuinely funny because of how bad it is, but it's pretty damn bad. It was amazing.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
It was originally filmed as to be like an R-rated Miramax movie, and then Disney, owns Miramax, and so they said, "Oh no, we like these two guys. We can just re-edit it and to make it into like a family-friendly feature."
Oof.
Yeah, and I really want to see the original cut of when it was like an adult movie.
Yeah, that sounds more tolerable.
Yeah, rough.
I don't know if I can get past that Travolta casting.
Man, it's rough. A lot.
I don't think there's anything he's done since
Face Off.
That's exactly where I was going.
Nice.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, nothing since then that I've cared for.
Okay, so pause on comics talk for a second. What did you think about Broken Arrow? I loved that movie growing up.
That was the one with Christian Slater?
Yeah, and Samantha Mathis.
Yeah.
Loose Nuke.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it since it came out, but...
It just has one of my favorite lines when Christian Slater says to John Travolta, like, "You lost your mind," and John Travolta goes, "Yeah, ain't it cool?"
I remember that from the commercial.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I like Cuffs in anything, so...
Cuffs. Man, I haven't seen that in forever.
I'd watch that again.
Okay, it's a date.
Let's get some,
Let's cuff it up.
Let's get some beers and watch Cuffs.
Okay, so
Tommy said Old Dogs was stinky.
Old Dogs was stinky, Tommy. You're 100% right. How did it get made? No idea, but they do. Did they do? There's a podcast called How Did This Get Made?
Surely it'll end up.
I'm
on
sure it's
if it
either on there or it should be soon. But man, that movie's. It's no Face Off.
You see, you were telling me about it. What was the movie I confused it with? Road Dogs?
Yeah, Road Dogs, the one with William H. Macy, Tim Allen, Martin Lawrence, and was it John Travolta? Was John Travolta in that one?
He might have been in.
Yeah, where they're motorcycle guys and they're not as, you know. I'm getting the thumbs up from Brennan. So
that one.
Yeah, Road Hogs. It was that movie was equally horrible.
That one was definitely featured on How Did It Get Made, and it was pretty rough. I was dying.
Dude, we should just start a video cast about just like bad movies. Talk about them.
I'm into it.
Cool. Stay tuned. My next one is also another Young Animal. This is, I believe, the last trade that needs to come out for the first original titles. This is Shade the Changing Girl, which is a hoot. I really dig this book. The reason why I like it is it Hoot. The reason why I like it is it ties in a lot to Shade the Changing Man, you know, Peter Milligan's story back from Vertigo. So a lot of that plays into this, kind of like the Doom Patrol. Yeah. So it's really cool. It's about this girl. Well, she's not really a girl. She's kind of like a bird person. Yeah, but not Rick and Morty bird person, like an actual bird kind of person. And she's tired of her life on this crazy planet called Meta, and she finds the Madness Vest, and she inhabits the brain of a girl who's brain dead, and she used to be a bully. So it gets into like really weird storytelling about how teenagers are the most evil thing on Earth. So the artwork's really cool. It's very spacey. Yeah, this book is awesome. Everything Young Animals does is great. So
yeah, I really like that they are careful with the material that came before it and very respectful of it. But they do their own thing.
Yeah, reverent.
Reverent. Yeah, good word. Revenant is not.
Revenant is not what we're. That's Leo DiCaprio movie.
Uncle Scrooge, The Lost Crown of Genghis Khan. Weird bear attacks. Speaking of bear attacks, so Carl Barks is a master of comics. Was a master of comics. He's just brilliant. He so perfectly blended action, fun, hilarity, adventure, all into like one comic. And it was a Disney comic with Disney characters that he pretty much defined. Like he created Uncle Scrooge, he defined, like he created Duckburg, most of the supporting characters that aren't Donald, Huey, and Dewey and Louie he created. Yeah, the best stuff.
Like Gyro Gearloose?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah. Probably Gladstone. Like, I mean, there's like a whole like family tree.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant stuff. A lot of fun. I mean, it's a brilliant ongoing story disguised as kids comics. And he was doing this in the 50s. He was doing this before any of us had any kind of idea that you could have like continuing tales or like callbacks or that kind of thing in comics. So highly recommended. All these hardcovers are brilliant and wonderful. Get them all, read them all, share them with your family, give them away for presents. This is the best. Comics just rarely get better than this.
My next one is a book called Clean Room. This is volume 3. This is the end of the main series of Clean Room. When Vertigo did this big, relaunch of a lot of stuff, this was one of the main titles that they were doing. Basically, the story starts off with, what if Scientology was actually run by demons or a Scientology-like religion? And then...
Let's not be specific.
Yeah, we might get sued. But then it kind of takes a left turn and you realize, wait, maybe the bad guys are the good guys and the good guys are actually the bad guys. The artwork in this is one of my favorite things about it because it gets downright disturbing. Like, oh man, there's some weird stuff that happens in this. But I was sad to see this series end because Gail Simone was killing it, but all good things do come to an end. And this story was definitely good. So, it's nuts.
Does it have a plan for closing?
Yes. Everything gets tied up nice and well, and it just it says the end, but they do leave up just enough to actually keep it going if they need to. But
can be revisited.
Yeah, but it was actually a really great beginning to end story.
Nice. So. Lead Poisoning, the pencil art of Jeff Darrow. I didn't get a chance to even flip through this book yet, but this is an automatic purchase because Jeff Darrow's art is just
fantastic.
I mean, there's so much insane detail. The man puts more detail in a zombie attack than anyone would even thought possible. He's everyone's favorite artist. Maybe not everyone, but he's stellar. I've never met anyone who looks at Jeff Darrow art and go like, yeah.
Yeah.
No one does that.
No.
It's phenomenal. There's rarely anyone that can even touch his realm of existence. So, yeah, this is a beautiful hardcover book that shows off his pencil work, his uninked artwork. So, give this a look. I'm very excited about it. This is going to be probably one of my favorite art books of the year.
Nice. Matthew says, fun fact, Larry Hama credits Uncle Scrooge as the catalyst for G.I. Joe. Said that the Joes are just the junior woodchucks with guns.
That's
I like
pretty
that.
good.
I like that.
That's a good fun fact.
Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. So this is my number one pick for trade.
And he would know because he knows Larry
Oh,
Hama.
there you go. This is my number one pick for trades and hardcovers this week. Curse Words by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. Man, this book is so fun. It's only $9.99. You know, and over here at Awesome Books, we always do 10% off of hardcovers and softcovers. This is great. It's about a wizard named Wizard who comes to Earth and he's supposed to take over, but he decides, no, I'm just going to have some fun. And so he's like this kind of man about town with magic abilities that people hire to, like, you know, do stuff. And then, his old demon-headed boss from the other dimension he's from is starting to send all these other wizards to beat up Wizard. And it sounds convoluted, but it's so great. He even has a talking koala as a sidekick. Man, and it's really fun because Ryan Brown of, God Hates Astronauts fame does the art, and so there's all these like little jokes hidden in the background if you're really paying attention. This book is great. Also, his powers come from his beard, so you know that's pretty awesome.
We've been known to
exhibit
have facial hair.
Yeah, so I'm getting into magic right now. So yeah, this is
Getting into magic.
Like
Kind of dabble in magic a little bit.
Yeah, like is this your card? So this is great. You should definitely pick it up. It's for a good price. So oh darn. Okay, so my last one, as usual, is the
Keep talking.
is the sidekick special of the week. This is Stephen King's The Stand, Captain Trips. This hardcover is the beginning of The Stand. It's like the first chapter, I guess, of the big Omni saga that is The Stand. Should I tell people? You guys know what The Stand is about, right? Super flu takes over the world. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But everybody has to survive together, and there's this guy called Randall Flagg, who rumor has it is also the bad guy in Dark Tower and all this other stuff.
Well, the Dark Tower ties in like all the Stephen King universe stuff.
Exactly. So this is really awesome. I dug this a whole lot. I actually have all of these books at my house because I can't sit and read a 1,300-page novel.
I was going to ask you if you ever read the novel.
Man, I tried, but man, it is long. And I read enough comics already. I mean, I'm well read in other ways.
King has a tendency to
he just goes
to move away from the straight line and
he takes some
delve over here for a little while.
Yeah,
head over here.
He takes some breaks from the usual narrative to just be like, oh, and hey, then there's this writer sitting in a room whose name is Stephen King, who's creating all these worlds, and oh, the world is also on the back of a turtle. Why not?
I like a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
And I like The Stand. I liked it. I couldn't do Tommyknockers.
Man, Tommyknockers. Here's a fun fact about Tommyknockers, and this is why you shouldn't do cocaine, because he barely remembers writing that book.
Oh my god, he wrote it in 3 days.
Yeah, like at 900
pages.
Yeah, a huge book, and he was just like, oh, I don't remember that.
That one was rough.
Yeah, and the TV miniseries was equally rough.
I never saw the TV show, that one.
It's bad. Jimmy Smits is in it, but
I like The Stand. I like the It TV.
The Stand one was great. I mean, and of course Tim Curry as Pennywise. Have you seen the previews to the new It movie?
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering.
Yeah.
It looks genuinely creepy.
Not into it.
I am into the Dark Tower movie that's coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a huge man crush on Idris Elba.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
But I forgot to tell you how much we're selling this for. This is $5. It's usually 25. Yeah. It's usually it's usually $25, but you get it for $5 at the Sidekick store first thing tomorrow morning.
You get the first chapter of an addicting storyline.
Yeah, on the cheap.
It's like a super fleet.
Man. So that's all the comics this week. Let's talk about what we got coming up, because we have a lot of stuff coming up.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. So the 26th, we have a signing with Becky Cloonan,
Yes.
which we're very stoked about. She is a very awesome lady.
She's metal.
Yeah, she is very metal, and that is cool with me. She's signing her new book, By Chance or by Providence, as well as Southern Cross Volume 2.
By Chance or Providence.
Oh, it's By Chance or Providence? Sorry, my bad.
It's a collection of her, like, not unpublished. It's, her more rare self-published books.
Yeah. It's a trilogy.
Yeah. So that's all going to be one beautiful volume. She's bringing an art print with the cover.
Nice.
Very sharp artwork. One of my favorite artists.
Oh, yeah.
So having her back in the store is pretty great.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about that. That's from 4 to 7 on the 26th, which is a Wednesday.
Wednesday. New Comic
Day. Yeah.
So the day that the book comes out, she'll be here for the premiere.
Yeah, super stoked about that. 28th, we have a new art show over at the Guzu Gallery. Strange Beast 5?
Shin Beasts.
Shin Beasts.
Strange Beast 5. So they're working in conjunction with Funimation, who's putting out the Shin Godzilla Blu-ray, DVD, what have you. And they're doing a very awesome art show that is kaiju related. We do like an annual kaiju show over there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty exciting. So this ties in with the Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which, if you've seen it, I thought it was awesome. I'm really.
I never got to see it.
It's so good.
It got out of theaters by the time I could get to it.
I did not like the American Godzilla, so this was a very pleasant, wash that out, and the Shin Godzilla just was cool and crazy and weird and was mostly political and very different.
Yeah, I heard it was like, the intricacies of bureaucracy with monster fighting.
Japanese bureaucracy specifically. It feels very unusual, but I loved it. I thought it was so good.
Well, on your recommendation, I'm gonna just buy it and know I'll like it anyway.
Yeah,
so.
it's very good, and a lot of surprises in that movie. I didn't even we started off like, what's that supposed to be?
No. So another great thing that's coming up on the 29th, we are having Jim Rugg coming down.
It's gonna be quite a busy week.
It's gonna be a busy week, but I love our busy weeks because
Yes.
Camaraderie.
It makes me sleeping well on Sunday.
Yeah. So Jim Rugg's going to be coming by on the 29th. The signing is from 4 to 6.
He's the creator of Street Angel.
Aphrodisiac.
Yeah, if you've ever talked to me about something cool to read, I probably recommended Aphrodisiac to you. Sold a ton of those books because it is crazy, cool, fun, and then it just shows off that Jim Rugg can do any comic, any style. He's a master.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about this. So that's going to be on Saturday the 29th from 4 to 6.
Yeah.
So what else we got?
I will be doing some D&D in a few minutes over at Outlaw Moon Games, the Facebook page over there. What else is going on? Just got through some pre-release for the latest Magic set, and that comes out this Friday. So we'll be doing lots of things with the new Hour of Devastation Magic cards.
So when you do a pre-release for Magic, is it like a midnight release or is it?
We usually just do them Saturday, Sunday during the day. We have done midnight releases, but I have to wake up really early on Saturday.
Right.
After that, and I want to be here till 4 in the morning.
We're only human.
Yeah, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
But if there's a set I just like an Innistrad set where I just cannot wait, we'll do it.
Okay.
But yes, the new cards will be out Friday at 11 when we open.
Nice.
And that'll be fun, and we're going to be drafting that set that night.
Cool. Anything else going on with you? We're going to go see the Toadies in November.
It was a little ways away.
Yeah, but I'm stoked about it because I love the Toadies.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it next Monday.
So good.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of chores yesterday, so I didn't have time.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I'm picky about my Spider-Man, but it feels like the Marvel Universe finally.
Yeah, and Michael Keaton, which I love.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He added so much depth to a character that had very little.
Yeah. Nice.
Very cool.
I don't really have much going on with me. I'm finishing one of my band's albums on the 22nd, and then we'll put that out. But my other band, they finished the album, so yeah, that's cool.
He's constantly in a state of album working.
Yeah, pretty much. I just got a show for San Marcos on August 12th, so if you guys want to caravan down there, that'd be fun. Yeah. Other than that, nothing really.
The Super Tie Booster Club.
Yeah, man, let's get started on that. I could use that. I could use a boost.
Every morning, a crowd of people cheering you on.
Yeah, I want to get out of bed, like, hey,
Thanks, guys.
you can do it. Okay, sure.
You don't have to cheer me on in the shower, but okay.
No, it's cool if I have an audience. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. You got anything else?
No, Tommy says it's the right Spider-Man.
Finally. Well, you can follow me at SuperTyDenton1. You can follow you at
Comic Book Brandon.
And you can follow both of us at Awesome Books. We'll see you tomorrow.
Or sometime this week.
Or anytime. We're always here.
We'll see you.
Later.
Where's the button?
Oh my god.